reporting live directly from the crime scene in which we announce that Francis Macomber is dead. As we all know, Francis came recently on a hunting trip with his wife. He struggled a lot on having the courage of shooting an animal, so a professional hunter which he hired helped him through it. We also heard that Wilson, which was the name of the hunter, had his differences with Francis. Margaret, which was Macomber's wife, was the one who accidentally killed him after getting into a fight with him the day before. Was it really an accident? Well, that's all we know. That's all we've heard from the past days spent here for Francis. Now we will go with our other interviewer, Fernando, and he will tell us more about Francis's life and how it all ended.
Today we gather to celebrate the death of Francis Macomber, born on July 27, 1977, and died on November 1 of 2012. We celebrate not because he's not here anymore, but because he's in a better place. He was born in a small Australian county. From there, he departed to the United States, and at the age of 15. There, he completed high school and advanced to college. There, he met the love of his life, who was called Margaret. They later married, and she was simply a terrible wife because she was a gold digger and didn't really love Francis. Francis was a very successful man. He gained a lot of wealth through hard work, dedication, and effort. He was also a very friendly guy, so friendly that people took advantage of him, like his wife. As years passed, he found many interests. He loved playing what he described as court games, such as squash and tennis. He liked them because the games had rules and perimeters. Macomber also held several fishing records. He was a tall man, very well built, and was at the highest point of his life. Francis one day found a weird interest in hunting. Hunting was not a court game. It had no rules and no perimeters. The only rule was to try to survive. He planned this hunting to be a romantic adventure for him and his wife. Macomber saw himself as a coward person, and he accepted that to himself. But the truth was, he was afraid for the rest to know this, and to think this about him. Due to this, he wanted people to see him as a hero. Hunting marked the end of his life. He decided to go on a hunting trip with his wife, and he hired a guide to go hunt. The guide's name was Robert Wilson, who served as a guide for wealthy tourists. He bought every equipment possible to make this a successful hunt, or a successful hunting experience. After this, he went through a series of changes. In the jungle, he tried to hunt for a lion, and when he confronted him, he got scared and panicked, and was seen as a coward by his wife and the guide. He entered in a type of depression and wanted to prove he wasn't coward, and then decided to do something to prove his wife and his guide wrong. So he proposed the idea of killing a buffalo to prove the rest that he was not a coward. In a normal day of hunting, searching for the buffalo, he was shot and killed by his wife when she accidentally pulled the trigger and shot Francis. This was the end of his life. He left a wife behind, but no kids. He's better off without her anyways. He deserved someone much better than her, but sadly it didn't happen. He is now in a better place. We can't see him anymore, but he'll remain in our hearts. We will always remember him as a role model and as a great person. Rest in peace, dear Francis. Love his family, Fernando and Neva.